My name's Joseph Leava'a. There's some details up there for me. I'm an affiliated facilitator for the Commission for Financial Capability, and so that's just a part-time role. The Commission for Financial Capability, their website is up there, the sorted website. And the Commission is the new name for the old Retirement Commission. Some of you might know that. And so our role, my role here today, is really just to share with you guys some impartial and independent information. We don't give out advice. This is the Commission. I'm really just here to share with you guys some information, but I can't give out any specific advice because we get everyone upset if we do. As Gareth mentioned, a bit of background. At the moment, my full-time job, I work in primary healthcare for a network of GP clinics, mainly out South Auckland, and also I do this part-time. In my previous role, I worked as a lawyer for the Ministry of Consumer Affairs down in Wellington, giving legal advice on things like loan contracts, faulty goods, that type of thing. And so this is a nice tie-in with my previous background and my current role. I'm also on the, I chair a small budget service in Mangere, so I have a lot of experience, I see a lot of things happening on the ground. That budget service, Viola Pacific Island Budget Service in Mangere. And I'm also on the board for Consumer in New Zealand. So some of you might be subscribers, and so if you didn't vote for me last time, please vote the next time. Joseph Leava'a. No, sorry, I'll stop there. But yeah, thanks very much to VisionStream. Great vision, no pun intended. A great vision. I hear the GM. It's not he or she. He sounds pretty awesome, and he actually outlined a few outcomes, which I'll just write up on the board. As we go through the workshop, we'll tick off some of those outcomes, hopefully. So the first thing that your boss wanted me to share with you guys is at least one practical budgeting exercise. As well as, what's your plan B? The fallback option when, if things do go wrong, because things do go wrong. This is real life. And the third outcome is how to look after dependents. How to look after, just say family. So as we go through, I'll hopefully be able to tick those things off. If you have any questions and we don't cover it in this workshop, please just take my details, send me an email, and I'll answer it, no problem. Another thing, this isn't a presentation. This is actually a facilitated workshop. I'm going to get you guys to come up with all the answers. So my role at the front is not to give out any answers. I'm really here just to draw out all of the knowledge and experience that's in the room, because actually I don't know anything about, I'm not very good at looking after my money, but I know there'll be people in this room who are, and they can share with Gareth and myself these great tips so we can avoid being poor for a bit longer. Okay, key outcomes. Health and safety, I guess you all work here, so you know where the toilets and everything is. If there's a fire alarm, you all know what to do. And yeah, I'll get straight into it. Thanks, guys. Okay. I'm breaking all the PowerPoint presentation rules here by reading out what's on the screen, so I'll change it slightly. It's true to say that most people will worry about money at some point in their lives. But what comes to mind when we think about money now? This is a workshop. I want us to workshop this question. Please, I know you all work together, so there's an element of, I don't want anyone to know my business. So you don't have to share gory details, even if it's you're sharing something that a friend or a family member may have gone through. But what we don't want to do is everyone go back to their desks and start putting on Facebook how much this person's owing and how much this person's making. So yeah, just we're all kind to each other. We just keep what we share to ourselves and just be a bit discreet, I think. Okay, so the question I wanted to ask you guys is, when you hear the word money, what springs to mind? Just yell out anything. Yell out what springs to mind. There's no right or wrong answers, honestly. Security. Great, great. Expenses. Rent. Not enough. Never enough. Slash not, slash never. Yep, keep going, guys. Expense accounts, did you say?
Expensive cars.
Expensive cars, sorry. Expensive cars. I heard savings. Did someone say savings? Oh, sorry, I'm hearing what I want to hear. If I heard savings, we could have shut the whole thing down. You guys passed. But shopping, yes, that's good. Sorry? Holidays, yep. Birthday presents. Presents. Investment. Sorry, I've got my back to you guys, but I'm writing. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a broad range of things that spring to mind when people hear the word money. And we'll be going over a few of these things. We'll be talking about security, expenses, shopping, holidays, maybe expensive cars, and definitely we'll be talking about not or never enough. But yeah, this is just to show we all have a different relationship to money, and we all think different things when it comes to money. So, okay. Now I want to ask you guys, what money tips have worked in your household? Budgeting, yep. Any particular aspect of budgeting or just budgeting in general? Budgeting in general is good. And we'll be talking about budgeting later on in the workshop as well.
Having a separate account for savings and transferring money in as soon as it comes in.
Separate accounts, and we'll be spending a bit of time on that as well today. Yep. Separate accounts, nice. Sorry, can you just expand on that a little more?
So, separate account for savings and have the payment to that going out as soon as the money comes in.
Ah, nice. So you've got more than one account? You've got...
So you don't see it, and then
Oh,
what's
nice.
left is spendable, but the savings goes out before
Yep,
there's
yep.
a contention.
No, that's a fantastic money system. What you're describing is a money system, and we'll get into that a little bit further. But that's exactly it. Yeah.
Reviewing your outgoings,
Reviewing your outgoings.
like keeping track of when your internet provider, let's say your 1 year package has come up.
Yep.
And you have to talk to them and
Negotiate.
negotiate, yeah.
And can you do that for more than just your,
You can, but I think a lot of people don't realize that you
Yeah.
can negotiate.
Just not yesterday, a couple of days ago, my friend was telling me how, every year he does the same thing with his insurances. So, the term kind of comes close to ending or whatever. He kind of, sets everything. I think he does it for everything. He has insurances, telephone, power, and then he just kind of goes through a process of shopping around. It's brilliant because every company wants your money. But it just pays to know what know what you're paying when that term ends, and to negotiate hard and just.
I'm going to call you. So it's basically a lot of people sharing, like, oh, did you know that, let's say Soho, you don't have to pay for it on Sky anymore. Things that you just think, oh, you just keep paying the same thing with a being aware of.
So it's awareness, eh? Awareness, reviewing outgoings and awareness, eh? Yeah, I like that.
Pay your bills on time.
Pay bills on time. Any advantage to paying bills on time? Discounts. Sorry?
No interest.
Yeah, because we all know the discount is really a penalty in disguise. Yep, okay.
Reduce impulsive buying.
Okay. Impulsive buying. How would you do that? Like, leave your money at home.
When I go to shopping, I usually take a big meal before that, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm buying all
Oh. Eat before you shop. That should be at the top of the list. Eat before you shop.
even my
That
kids.
implies for grocery only. What about the other things?
What
Oh,
about
the other things. Yeah. What about other impulsive?
other animals? Other boys?
You leave your card at.
Leave the card at home, eh?
What I do is I
That
come
could be
to-
that could
I-
be embarrassing.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not embarrassing.
yeah.
I just keep it for me and I hold it at 4 o'clock and I'll get it.
Yeah, find a good friend, eh? Find a friend. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, fantastic. Great tips, man. Does anyone else have anything to add? Multiple? Oh, yes. Nice if you can get it. Multiple revenue streams. Multiple. Revenue streams. I agree. Yeah, I agree, and I'm only just sort of getting my head around it too, but very important.
Clearly defining what is need and what is luxury helps.
Have you been looking at my notes? No, that is probably the biggest practical budgeting exercise we could do. Will be looking at needs versus wants, and we'll get into that very shortly.
Every time you want to buy something new, decide what you want to throw out.
Okay. So when buying something new,
If you see a pair of shoes and you want them, say I want those, decide what pair of shoes you're going to throw out.
does that mean you don't want the new shoes because you don't want to chuck away your old shoes, or are you recycling?
Focus with the mind.
Yeah, I like it.
Whether you need it or not.
Or just, be in the moment, hey, like, don't just buy like you're on autopilot. Don't buy on autopilot. Can I?
Impulsive buying.
Yeah.
Funny, nothing will stop you buying shoes.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. Awesome. And for my very perceptive friend, needs and wants. If we were to make a list of needs on one side, sorry for the back, and wants on the other, okay, what would go in the needs column? I'm talking about your weekly family spending. Sorry, what was that? Groceries. Groceries? Yep, definitely. You need to eat. Groceries? Fuel? You need to get around.
Shelter.
Shelter? Yep. Utilities. It's a pretty Spartan group of things over here on the needs side, eh? Keep going. Insurance. Yeah. We'll touch on that briefly, but yeah, insurance very important. Transport. Yep. Rates. Someone say rates. Oh, just personal. I'm not sure. Personal.
But there are things that everybody needs that I think we can all agree on, which are the first four. And then some people can have, a different need that they can supply their own need.
Yeah, we've probably maxed out and we're the need side of things. But yeah, I guess, think of your naughty mate who might still be partying like he's 19 or 20. And so, yeah, just think about what are the wants that, come on, we don't all spend our money on just these things. What? Parking's probably a need. Fees still a need, I think.
Yep.
I mean, I guess I'm thinking about things like Lotto. Who plays Lotto? Well, only one truthful person in this room? Yeah, 3. Awesome. And sorry to, I don't mean to, point you out, but yeah, Lotto, we can put it in the wants. Say we don't really need it to survive, do we?
There's a number where you have to play to
Pay to play.
need to win.
Like overseas travel? Yeah. Holiday. Come on, I guess I'm looking for some bad ones. Like,
About healthcare, would that come under a need?
oh, probably need. Man, you guys are too good. I'm getting too many. I'm looking for cigarettes, booze, all the good stuff. Takeaways, yeah. Ciggies.
Takeaway is a need once in a while. No, once a week is a
What's that for? What's that for? Once a week for
takeaway.
takeaway?
Once a week would
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, well, only because you're forcing me, we'll put takeaways here. Okay, well.
Column is a rewards column. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The takeaway once a week is a rewards column for picking the other 4, 5, 6.
Well, I can't see that in my notes, so that's really tricky. Okay, yep. So we've got the needs, we've got the wants. I don't want to. Okay, so we'll attack takeaways. Sorry, and I eat takeaways almost once a day, so I'm only attacking it in theory.
And what about excess shopping, which we don't need, the items which we don't need?
That's by definition all the want stuff. Like, that's what we were trying to get at. Okay, so let's use Lotto as an I don't want to. Let's use entertainment. Yeah, like is that like going out drinking at a bar type thing? Bars and clubs. Bars, movies. So, okay. Now, if we went to the movies, that's nice and neutral. If we went to the movies once a week, how much would that cost? Movie ticket, food, $100? Far out.
$20 for one person.
Yeah, for
one person, it would cost $20 at least.
Okay. Yeah. That's yeah. What about food, travel? Transport. Say $30. Okay. So weekly, month, year. Okay. So $30 a week. It's whoever's got a calculator. That'll be 4 times 30, about 120 a month. And 30 times 50 is about 1,560. 52 weeks at $30 would be about $1,560. Is that right? $1,560 is still a lot of money. And then if you do this line across all of them, bars, takeaways, travel, Lotto.
A month on takeaway coffee.
Yeah.
People come into work to do that.
Yeah.
So in a year, how
Yeah.
much is that?
960.
$960.
Almost $1,000. So I guess the whole point of the needs and wants exercise is to get us to, if we really want to look at spending, this is the stuff we got to focus on, the want stuff. If we really want to save money, needs we can't really do anything about without kind of falling deeper into debt or whatever. But the wants, this is the column that you can make some changes at. And it's just about an awareness too that, coming off that autopilot that we all get into every day. Any questions? The spending diary. Now, the spending diary to me is probably the most powerful behavior change tool that I think I could share with you guys. And I was talking to I work in primary healthcare, so I work with some psychologists and psychiatrists, and one of the psychologists was telling me that what I'm about to share with you is actually an old psychology, is derived from psychology, around getting people to change their behaviours. So this is essentially it, a spending diary. Can anyone take a guess at what it is? You probably, it's not very clear, but there's 4 columns: the date, what you bought, how much it cost, and the feeling, in terms of funny faces, how you felt when you made that purchase. Has anyone, so this is a spending diary. Has anyone done anything like this? Recorded everything that they've bought for a period, say a week, normally a week or longer? Oh wow, awesome. Was there any changes in your spending as a result of?
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic.
But then you see, when you, it kind of changes things for you when you have to put it in.
Yep.
When you hold yourself accountable, you're just like, do I really, you know?
And that is that's the kind of behavior change stuff that the psychologists were kind of telling me about. And one of the other workshops I've done, a lady, so we introduced, there's another course we do which is 6 weeks, it's pretty long, but at the end of each night, because it's one night a week, at the end of each night we ask everyone to go away and do their spending diary, and so they come back after a week, and after each week, you know, there's some really amazing learnings or epiphanies reached and all sorts of things, like one lady said she didn't realize how much coffee she was buying, and she was starting to get embarrassed, having to not embarrassed with anyone else, but just she felt bad that she was drinking so much coffee that she actually stopped buying that many coffees. She still bought coffees, but it gave her a kind of, whoa, hey, slow down, kind of feeling, only because she was more aware of it, and that's only because she was actually recording it and being purposeful. Yeah, so, I know. So what we do normally in the courses is we hand out just little, the little 1B5, the little notebooks that, we used to have in school. And then just draw up 4 columns. Please, I encourage you all, give this one a try, and I promise you, you'll get some results. Draw up 4 columns. The first one is the date. What did you buy, how much it cost, and the feeling. Now this is every purchase. So, when you jump on the bus, that's a thing. When you buy petrol, that's a purchase. And then if you do it over a week or a month, you can, you'll throw in the bigger things like rent will come in there, car payments, all that sort of thing. But by the end, if you do it faithfully enough, you'll see patterns and things that you were probably willfully blind to. And now, and I guarantee there'll be something in there that will help. Yeah, so this might look familiar to you and probably others in this room. But what's happening here is money from income, money from, say, wages or salary, comes into the first account, and from this first account, day-to-day weekly expenses are paid from that. Shopping, petrol, other kind of day-to-day expenses. In this particular money system, there's another account which is used for bills, and we'll go into that a little bit more, but essentially, if your car bills are $400 or $520 a year, then every week you should be putting in $10 into this account, so that when that 520, it will probably pop up, spread out through the year. But if you're putting, if you work out that, if my expenses for a car are $520, that means I should be putting $10 a week aside, then this is the account that it'll go into. And then there's this account. So after you've done the bills and your expenses, there's a separate savings account. So basically 3 different accounts here. It's a really simple money system. if you were able, and I'll give you an example. If you had kids, and when they were 10, you started putting aside $40 a week, so that's $2,000 a year. From the age of 10, $2,000 a year. Each year you earn interest, and that interest is added on top of the principal. That's what and then every year that happens, that's what they call compounding interest. But by the time they're, I'm just giving a rough example, by the time they're age 65, that, the $2,000 a year, I think you only have to do it for about 10 years and you can even stop paying into it. But after 50 odd years of compounding interest, 20,000, for example, can become 600,000 if that person lives long enough. And it goes in the opposite direction for debt. So compounding interest works both ways. The longer you borrow money, the more you'll pay, and the more you save money, the more you'll get back because of the compounding interest. But yeah, look it up. If Albert Einstein was impressed, then so am I. Oh, here's some examples. Here's a little example. It's not quite as dramatic as the example I gave, but it is still pretty cool. If it's hard to read it back, but if you saved from ages 20 to 60, so 40 years, if you saved $50 a week, so that's that's coffees, 2 coffees a day. If you save that $50 a week for 40 years, you'd end up at 4% interest. You'd end up with $251,000 after only putting in $104,000. But if it was a 5% interest, same amount putting away, you'd be walking away with $321,000 after only putting in $104,000. So maybe not as dramatic as the example I gave, but it still looks pretty awesome. This is a good page. If you ever need help, I'd start at the Community Law Centre. CABs, they're awesome, but they're manned by volunteers who, not all of them are legally, hardly any of them are lawyers. So I think this is the best first stop, Community Law Centres for advice. There are income limits, but you can just ring up and ask on behalf of your friend who's below the income limit. And these other websites. I used to work for these guys. That's the old Consumer Affairs website, Commerce Commission. But Citizens Advice Bureau, if you need things like a JP to sign stuff, pretty simple citizen stuff. But yeah, thank you so much. Using your time to come and listen to tips and share also with your co-workers is awesome. So thank you very much.